Okay, so we're going to use stenciling to create textures on our model. So this way we just collect different images and we can use this as stencils to make the textures for our models. It kind of will give us a more realistic look. So we'll go to texture paint. First thing we need to do is make a texture. So I'm going to go to our tools right here. It says no texture right here. So I'm just going to hit plus and I'm just going to create a base color, and I'll just hit OK because it doesn't really matter what color it is because we're going to use images. So right over here, I'm going to go to new and we'll do image or movie. I'm going to open up and I'm going to pick these genes. So I'll use these genes to create my texture. So now what we'll do is we'll go to texture right over here, and instead of the mapping, instead of tiled, we'll use stencil, and we should get like this picture right over here. So the way we can control it is if we right click, we can move it around. If we hold shift and right click, we can scale it. And if we hold control and right click, we can rotate it. So one thing that will help us, if I go into edit mode, all our parts are separated. So if I just want to paint on the pants, I'm just going to hover over it. I'm going to press L so I just select the pants, and I'll hit tab to go back into texture paint. And this button right up here, it says paint mask. If I click that on, I will only paint on the pants, nothing else. So that's super helpful. For just painting on one particular area. So I could, line this up. I could scale it and move it and get it close so to what I want it to be. Probably something close to that is good, I think. Right, okay, so and we're just gonna have to use our best guesses. So something, alright, so I think I'll do something like that. And now you can see if I just start painting, I should get like those areas. And I could do this over here, can like paint that area. And I could start, maybe I'll scale this up a little bit. And I could start painting over here. And something like that. I can move that back up and paint over here to get that area. And, so now you can see what it looks like. So that's looking okay. I'll go right over here and I could paint my buckle and something like that. And then we're going to just continue painting and getting, our pants. So I could do this and paint like this. Maybe I'll make the brush a little bigger so I can get more area. Right, and then I can move it down some more and get something like this. So I could paint down here and get some of that in there. Okay. Right, so now we can see what that's looking like. So we have something like that. We have our pockets. We have like that jean texture on there. And I can do the same thing for the other side. I can scale that down. Move it into a decent position. And just kind of start painting what I want it to be like. Moving it around. Just getting the best that I can. Something like that looks decent. We could go to the back. So I don't have pockets on the back, but we could change the picture. So right here, I could change this picture. So I'll grab that. Let's see. I have a pocket right there, so let me grab this. So now you can see I have something like that. So I'll just try my best to match it so I could scale. I can hold down Control and right click to rotate it a little bit, right? So I could get something like that. So I could paint a pocket here, and then I could just change that and kind of do the same thing, rotate that a little bit, scale it, try to get it even, and we're just gonna do our best to get it close, and then I can just put that down and have my pockets. So we have something like that, and we can start getting the rest of our leg in here. I can rotate that, move that up a little bit, just kind of get the jean look in here. Maybe Control and just get that in there. And you want to just try to be careful so we can change the size of our brush so we don't overpaint the area where our pocket was, right? If we want to get that like strip on the belt, maybe like right there, we could get that there. Just kind of match that over here. Try to get some of this, right? And maybe I'll just, basically we're just gonna move this texture around and do our best to get all those areas. Right. Move this leg over here. Could scale it up a little bit. Just start painting. Right. I'll just continue to do that. And we're just going to keep on painting and need to trying to be as careful as we can in areas, not to mess up what we've already painted, but getting those areas in there, right? Something like this, and just painting everything in, right? And doing our best. We can go back and use maybe a smear, maybe like lower the strength, and we can kind of like blend some of this in so it looks a little more like it matches. Kind of like blend these seams a little bit. Right, something like that. But this is how we can get like a nice, decent looking texture of jeans and clothing and all different kinds of stuff. I mean, even for example, like I could use the hand that I found. Let's see. So we'll grab that, open the image, you know, so we could use this to, you know, texture paint our hand. Let me just rotate that. So like say I want to get the fingers on there, you know, right, something like that, right. Could just try to match a finger as best as I can, and then I could just kind of like paint that on there. I don't have the arm selected. Let me just select the arm, hit tab again. So now I have the hand selected, so I could just kind of like paint on this finger, right? And you can see you get like, you know, I could just do that for the other fingers. Just kind of like do my best to match it, and then I could just paint on that finger too, right? And we can get, you know, I could do my best to match it, right? Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but right. You can paint that finger there, and again, you know, can match that as best as we can. Move it into place, and then I could paint that finger here too, right? We could get our palm, you know, as close as we can. It's a little big, so maybe something like that, right? We could, you know, paint the palm down. I don't want to undo what I did. We'll just be careful, right? Get something like that. You know, then I could, you know, work at getting the thumb area. Paint that over here, and I know the thumb's backwards, so that's going to be a little hard, but I'll just do it anyway. Right, so there's my thumb. I can just fix that part of it. You know, doesn't have to be great, but it looks okay, right? So that's just how we can do it. So I want you to try texture this whole character just using images.